All right, so to kick off, ISurvived.lifenoted.com. I will tell my story first. It's only right, you know. Okay, so my name is Miriam. I am an incest survivor. Something I don't talk about too much, but it has definitely affected me in my life. When I was younger, about 7 to 8, I don't remember the age because that it is kind of fuzzy for me. When I was 7 or 8, my father molested me, and I was daddy's girl, and he could do no wrong, and I loved him, and he took advantage of my trust in our relationship, and it was not good. And it happened once. I remember feeling like I did something horribly wrong. Like, what did I do to deserve whatever happened? Because I couldn't really describe what happened. I couldn't really process what happened. It was just confusing, and I just couldn't see why the person I trusted most in my life would completely turn on me and then say what we did was good and that it has to be a secret. We never had to keep secrets before. So I remember it happened in the basement of my family home, and I walked up the basement stairs with him right behind me. He whispered that in my ear, "This is just between you and me, our secret." And I walked past my mom in the kitchen, who was making dinner as usual, and I didn't know what to say or do. I sat down at the family table, and I knew it was different, and I couldn't eat. And I went upstairs to my room, and I don't even know if I cried. It was more like I was just in shock. I just didn't know what to do because everything was different. I remember thinking, was I bad in school? Was I being too quiet in school? Did I get bad grades? How was I not good enough in whatever way? And the next day, I found a way not to go to school. I was sick, and I stayed home. No one else was home, so I guess, I don't know, I wasn't thinking, if it would happen again. And my sister came home from school. My oldest sister. And she's like, "What's going on with you?" She noticed something was a little off, and she persisted. And she had told me one time before. She told me, if anyone ever touches you in a way that you feel whatever way about, tell me. And I swear, if she hadn't told me that, I would have never said anything. I would have never broken my father's trust. The man who I loved most dearly in the world, who did something crazy, but then said, it's our secret. No matter how bad I felt, I would not have broken that trust. So if she hadn't said anyone and stressed anyone, I wouldn't have said anything. But in that moment, after a while, I did say, I told her what happened. And thank God for her. She made sure that it never happened again. A lot happened with my family after that. He was no longer in the house. Over the years, he was in and out. Our family went through counseling. I went to counseling. Counseling is a good thing. I still, in those days after, those immediate months after, I still wanted to be that daddy's little girl, that innocent, that I wanted everything to stay the same, but everything had changed and I couldn't help that, and I felt like it was my fault. And later, as I accepted that it wasn't my fault, I still held on to the feeling of, well, all my father wanted from me was sexual. So I guess any other man, whatever they would want from me is sexual. And I held on to that for a long time. And not only that, but that I guess the only thing that I could really offer is sex. So, fighting against that in relationships, it just was, it haunted me in many ways throughout my life. Even though it happened one time, it totally shattered my view on men, on myself, on my worth. So, now I've forgiven my father. I've forgiven him, and I appreciate him for who he is, for the flawed individual that he is. But I do appreciate him for the man that he is. He, after his incident with me and the whole issues surrounding the family, he cleaned up. And I must say that he's always tried to be there in whatever way he could for his family after his wrongs. So I give him props. And as a grown woman, I came to him finally and I told him that I couldn't trust him and that I wished that we had the relationship we had before, and that I never looked at men the same way again, that I didn't look at myself the same way again. And having that conversation with him of honesty and truth and letting my full self, my vulnerable self, open to him again, as I never did after that point, I wouldn't hug him. And I finally told him that I forgive him. And I do. And that I accept him in my life as my father. And I don't have to look for that father figure anymore. He's there. He's flawed. But he's there. And he wants to be there, and he does love me. If anyone else is watching this, I don't know if that person who attacked you could ever come back into your life in any kind of healthy way. But know that it's possible. And holding on to hate doesn't help. It only eats yourself up inside and messes with all of your relationships. So seek counseling. Know that it's not your fault in any way. Love yourself. Know that you're worth so much love and goodness, and that great things can come to you. I'm the owner of a business. I have great friends. I have really, really good male relationships. Who would have thunk it? Male friends. And they don't want sex. So, yes. You can get over your issues.